My name is Barbara Macdougall. I actually, my father joined the Glencoe Club in the early 30s, and there is a picture. My name then was Barbara Curlett, and was in one of the early skating carnivals. But when the war broke out in '39, he gave up the membership. He was in the reserve and, you know, all these reasons. So then after Don and I were married, we moved to Calgary and we became members on July 1st, 1959. The first year we joined, we tried to do everything. we played badminton and tennis, and we bowled and curled, and but the league, I think, in the beginning, we really enjoyed badminton, and our whole family focus a lot was around badminton, although Don was a very good tennis player, so he played a lot of tennis, and then he thought he'd died and gone to heaven when they got year-round courts, you know, indoor courts. I mean, I do remember as a really young person when, you know, there was the indoor ice and the old wooden building, but there was an outdoor rink that we skated on a lot, which is kind of where the swimming pool is now. And then, as I say, the fun we had Tuesday night, mixed doubles badminton, that we made a lot of good friends that are still friends now. And then with tennis, Don played a lot of tennis, and we really enjoyed that. They had the Masters of Alberta, and he and his partner were an awesome doubles team. And Don's surprise 60th birthday party, and I guess it was Cindy Paddock that kind of staged it so that the guests were all in the ballroom, and when she opened the door and Don helped her in with the serving trays and everything, that was pretty memorable, and it was quite a surprise. It was successful, but I mean, we've just had so many wonderful experiences, and be it in all the eating areas. I mean, today we love going to the grill room. Well, one of the worst memories is I remember in the early 60s, and Don and I were playing bridge with my aunt and uncle who lived in what was then the Athlone Apartments down about 18th Avenue. Between 2nd and 4th Street, and we heard the fire engines going by and didn't think anything of it, and about midnight we were going home and saw the flames and realized it had to be the Glencoe Club that was on fire, and it was terrible. I mean, just it burned right to the ground, of course, as you know. And I don't know whether anybody will tell you, one of the stories was Mr. Justice Cairns was in the bowling alley. The league had finished, you know, play for the night, and he was changing back into his street shoes, and he couldn't get out the entrance. And those were the days when they had they weren't called ball boys. Tennis is influencing me, but the bowling fellows that set up the pins, and one of the boys came in where he usually sat and came down the bowling alley, got him, and took him back out the back. Yeah. Well, it really felt, you know, like a family club. And I was thinking today, you know, in the summer, all our 3 kids had swimming lessons, and we were close enough. The workforce was such in Calgary at the time that they had an hour plus for lunch, and so lots of times we'd pack a lunch, come down with our kids to swim, and our husbands would come and join us, and we'd sit on the hill out at the back and have our lunch over the noon hour. And as I say, it was like having a family picnic, and a lot of times coming down here was just our family made good use of all the facilities, and we always had a good time. I still enjoy the club. I play bridge on Wednesday afternoons, and love the duplicate bridge group, and as I say, enjoy, don't do too much. I still go to fitness, but mostly enjoy coming to the sports lounge and the grill room, and there's always, I guess every time we come to the club, we always meet somebody we know and chat, catch up. Well, I think one of the things is that it's meant being able to stay physically active, and at this stage I really appreciate how important that is for quality of life, really. No, it's good. It just, as I say, means connection and being with friends, and you know, our family were here last Sunday for dinner, and it's good. Well, I think I have to say, kind of shame on me for being so judgmental, but I remember when they were going to put the elevator in, I thought, oh my gosh, what a stupid thing to do. You had a family club, a family recreation club, and of course, my husband now can't get up the stairs any other way. And I certainly use it on quite a few occasions. So, as I say, that was telling on me. And you know, another thing that I was kind of critical about was heating the outdoor pool, and I think it's been extremely successful. So. Oh gosh, well, it kind of depends what time of year, and in those days, you know, certain sports were certain times of the year. As I say, in the summer, it was bringing the kids down for swimming lessons, and then when our daughters were quite young, 9, 10, 11, they swam with regularly with the swim team. They now call it the Gators. I don't think they called it the Gators then, but I remember, you know, heating up the car at 7 in the morning so that they could come, and I used to think, I wonder how much you really enjoy this, or is it just so easy to get into a warm car and be driven? But then we moved within a block or two, so anything they wanted to do, they had to walk to the club. Yeah, but that was fine. But as I say, they were all very involved in badminton, and I remember in those days, kids got billeted when they went to an out-of-town tournament, so it meant we had to do the same when kids came, and we had a third-story loft in our house, so the kids would bring their sleeping bags. It would be either a boy weekend or a girl weekend, and we could put up about 6 of them in the loft, and that was kind of fun. Got to meet all these delightful young people. But as I say, I don't think there was a typical day. It kind of depended on what decade it was, what season it was, changed all the time. Badminton, as I say, was something we were pretty involved with, and initially Dave Follansby was the pro, and then he went on to be the club manager, but then Chanarong came, and Chanarong was just a tremendously positive influence on all of us. And he and his wife Joyce, and they were a tremendous asset to the club. Well, I said to Don not very long ago, I think it's probably the best investment we ever made was joining the club, because not only from the fitness aspect, but more so from all the wonderful people that we met and the members, and yeah, it has contributed a lot. And as I said earlier to Chris as he was leaving, you know, I mean, we're living in Fountains of Mission now, and there's at least a dozen of the folk there that are Glencoe members, and they still like to come over for a meal and socialize. As I say, it was just all a wonderful time. And as I think Don's 60th birthday party was a pretty big event, but we've celebrated other birthdays. You know, my 80th birthday, we had a nice family dinner here, and we've celebrated a lot of birthdays. And yeah.